Countless victims, continuous horror. Texas stood on the edge of fear. Beginning with the tragic deaths of 3 teenagers, the list of victims grew, casting a shadow over the Lone Star State. What drove these senseless acts of brutality? Who could be behind such relentless carnage, leaving investigators baffled and communities gripped by dread? Get ready for a journey through history, where the past still grips the present. Today we're delving into the chilling events of the 1966 Texas murders, a story where mystery and tragedy collide. In the calm setting of 1966 Texas, the day started like any other for 17-year-old teenager Robert Brand. Accompanied by his cousin, 15-year-old Mark Dunham, he embarked on a routine excursion to meet Brand's girlfriend, 16-year-old Edna Sullivan. It was a normal thing to do in their small town, but that day turned out to be far from ordinary. Kenneth Allen McDuff. Enter Kenneth Allen McDuff, a figure whose name would become synonymous with terror. Raised without the constraints of discipline, McDuff's unchecked aggression earned him a reputation as a formidable bully among peers and authority figures alike. His brush with the law in 1964, resulting in a burglary conviction and a 4-year prison sentence, hinted at the darkness lurking within. However, it was his release on parole in December 1965 that set the stage for the tragedy that would unfold. An ominous prelude to the horror that awaited Brand, Dunham, and Sullivan on that fateful day. August 6, 1966. On that dreadful August night in 1966, Kenneth Allen McDuff and his accomplice Green roamed the streets, their sinister intentions hidden in the shadows. Cruising through the darkness, McDuff's eyes fixated on a group of unsuspecting teenagers. Robert Brand, his girlfriend Edna Louise Sullivan, and Brand's cousin Mark Dunham. With calculated precision, McDuff, armed with his .38 Colt revolver, approached the trio, casting a shadow of fear over their innocent rendezvous. Forcing them into the trunk of their own car, McDuff's sinister intentions became clear. Ignoring their desperate pleas, he callously discharged 6 shots into the confined space, extinguishing the lives of the helpless victims. As the echoes of gunfire faded into the night, McDuff's depravity knew no bounds, leaving behind a trail of devastation that would haunt the community for years to come. After driving to another location, McDuff and Green shot the 2 boys and killed them. They also raped the girl multiple times and killed her brutally. He put a broomstick across the throat of that poor little girl up in Tarrant County and broke her neck just like you'd kill a possum, said Brady Pamplin, the lawman who had arrested McDuff. After committing the heinous act, McDuff and his accomplice callously disposed of the girl's body in the bushes before continuing with their mundane activities as if nothing had happened. They stopped at a gas station, casually purchasing Coca-Cola before heading to Green's house for the night. The following day, McDuff buried his revolver near Green's garage, while their acquaintance, Richard Boyd, unwittingly allowed McDuff to wash his car at his home. However, their facade of normalcy quickly crumbled when Green confessed to Boyd's parents, setting off a chain of events that led to McDuff's arrest by Falls County Sheriff Albert Brady Pamplin and Deputy U.S. Marshal Thomas Parnell T.P. McNamara. McDuff was sentenced to death, but his sentence was later commuted to life imprisonment due to alleged evidence implicating Green as the primary culprit. Despite attempts to secure his freedom, McDuff's parole was ultimately granted, allowing him to re-enter society in 1989, a decision that would have dire consequences. Post-release. After his release, McDuff wasted no time in returning to his sinister ways. Within days, he resumed his deadly spree, preying on innocent lives with chilling efficiency. Despite his past atrocities, he seamlessly assimilated into society, securing a job at a gas station and blending into the fabric of everyday life. Following the discovery of Serafia Parker's body on October 14, 1989, McDuff was not charged with her murder. However, he soon found himself back behind bars for a parole violation after making death threats to a young African American in Rosebud. Despite this setback, his mother, Addie McDuff, attempted to secure his release by paying attorneys to evaluate his prospects. Released once more on December 18, 1990, McDuff wasted no time in resuming his heinous activities. On the night of October 10, 1991, he abducted Brenda Thompson, a prostitute, and narrowly escaped capture by attempting to run over police officers at a checkpoint. Thompson's body wasn't discovered until nearly a decade later, shrouding her fate in mystery until then. Merely 5 days later, McDuff was spotted in a heated argument with Regina Deanne Moore, another unfortunate victim. He abducted, bound, and ultimately killed her, concealing her remains for 7 long years. In addition to these atrocities, McDuff is suspected of ending the life of Cynthia Renee Gonzalez, whose body was found near County Road 313. On December 29, 1991, they abducted Colleen Reed from an Austin car wash in broad daylight, subjecting her to unspeakable horrors before taking her life. McDuff's next victim, Valencia Joshua, met a grim fate on February 24, 1992, when she was last seen knocking on McDuff's door. He strangled her, and her body was found on March 15th near a golf course. Melissa Northrup, a pregnant store clerk, became McDuff's next target on March 1, 1992. Her disappearance from the Waco Quick Pack, where McDuff had once worked, raised suspicions. Tragically, her lifeless body was found on April 26th, America's Most Wanted. Despite the complexities of McDuff's crimes spanning multiple Texas counties, authorities uncovered his involvement in drug trafficking and illegal firearm possession, leading to a warrant for his arrest on March 6, 1992. By April 1992, Alva Hank Worley, an associate, was detained, revealing McDuff's illicit activities. Meanwhile, McDuff had assumed the alias Richard Fowler and relocated to Kansas City, Missouri. A vigilant co-worker watching America's Most Wanted tipped off authorities, leading to McDuff's arrest on May 4, 1992, near Kansas City. The arrest, conducted by a team including Deputy U.S. Marshals and Falls County Sheriff Larry Pamplin's sons, marked a pivotal moment in ending McDuff's terror. Following his conviction, on February 18, 1993, McDuff was sentenced to death. Despite numerous appeals, habeas corpus relief was denied, and his execution was scheduled for November 17, 1998. Before his execution, McDuff disclosed the burial location of one victim. On November 17, 1998, McDuff was executed. His final resting place is the Captain Joe Bird Cemetery, known as Peckerwood Hill in Huntsville, Texas, a harsh reminder of the 1966 murder saga. Thank you for joining us today as we delved into this chilling true crime story. Stay tuned for more gripping tales in future videos. Until then, stay safe and may justice prevail.